Yo, what is going on, guys? It's JD here, back with another sniping video. Now, due to the success of my first Ruby snipe video, guys, you hit 75 likes on that. That is incredible. I think I asked for 50 or something for part 2, so I've got to give you part 2. We're going to be doing point guard, shooting guard and small forward filters today, because we've got about 6 or 7 to get through, and they're all really good with some really high value players. So enough talking, let's just get into this. So Ruby, historic, and then we're going to go point guard and to the Western Conference to start out. So in this filter we are going to have Darren Williams and Dennis Johnson. As you can see, not many of these guys are around. This Darren Williams is easily the most expensive out of the two, and he does sell, I believe, for about 60k. I think that one's a little bit overpriced. This Dennis Johnson, I think he's about 30k, so as usual with my historic filters, guys, these are ones that you can easily just have written down and just fly through whenever the refresh hits, because there's not going to be a lot of players on all of them, so you can easily flick through them all really quickly, and any filters that have any snipes up, you should be able to get them pretty quickly. So that's the first one there, with nice Darren Williams, who has got some very nice value. And then for the second one, we are going to stick with the point guards, and we're going to go to the Southeast Conference. So in here we're going to have Jameer Nelson from the Magic and Muggsy Bogues from the Hornets. And as you can see, Muggsy is very expensive. This dude is 68k. I remember when the packs first came out for the Hornets, that was way back at the start of the year, and he was selling for about 25k, so if people stocked up on him back then, they made a very good choice. And we also got Jameer Nelson here. Obviously the Magic collection is for the Shaq, but the Sapphires is so expensive that no one's really going for the Ruby. But anyway, this is another one where you just really want to keep an eye out for the Muggsy Bogues. There's not many of him up, so just to flick over Muggsy's, it's not going to take you too long. And if you see one for under about 50 to 60k, you're going to want to pick that bad boy up. So moving away from the point guards, we're going to the shooting guards, and we are going to go to the Pacific. So in here we are going to have Danny Ainge, Mitch Richmond, Dan Marley, someone told me how to say it before, I can't remember, and Byron Scott and Jeff Hornacek. So a lot of good shooters here, and all of these cards have some pretty good value, apart from Dan. He doesn't have a last name, he's called Dan now. Apart from him, they will have some really good value. The cheapest you can get any of the others for is 40k by the looks of it. So if this is another really good filter, actually there's some really high value cards in here, so in theory you could just stay out on this filter on its own and put it to about 40k, and if you see anyone other than Dan flip up, you're going to want to pick them up pretty quickly because they've got some big value in them. So sticking with the shooting guards, we are going to switch over to the Atlantic Division. Now here we are going to have Sam Jones and Kendall Gill. This is another one where there's not too many people in them, so you don't want to be focusing yourself just on this filter. Chances are you're not going to know when the refresh hits because no one's going to pop up. But anyway, if you just flick through this one, you can see if you see anyone under about 30k, because these cards sell for a very similar price. So 30k looks like a good deal if you can get either of these for that price. Right, moving on to the small forwards. We're going to start in the Northwest Division. And in here we're going to have Xavier McDaniel. Xavier. I'm really bad with pronunciations, guys, I do apologise. But anyway, McDaniel, he goes for about 50k. So here's another one, not too many of him up. Just flick through him. If you see any for 40k, pick him up, you're going to be making some profit. And we're going to stick with these, and we're just going to nip down to the Southwest. No, we're not, we're going for the Southeast. And in the Southeast we have got Bernard King, Caron Butler and Glenn Rice. Glenn Rice is the main attraction from this filter. He has still got some really good value from that Heat collection. Caron Butler and Bernard King not so much, sort of about 20k, but Glenn Rice, I think he still sells for about 50 to 60k. There is a bid on that one for 36k, so yeah, just keep an eye out for Glenn Rice in this filter. And then guys, for the last one of today's video, we're going to be going to the Atlantic Division, and there's Richard Jefferson sitting pretty with his bald head. And yeah, the next set for that Drazen Petrovic wasn't as good as people thought it was going to be. That's the only problem. If he was good, this card would have a lot more value, but it's still 40k. If you can pick one up for 30k, this is another one. Just flick through, you can easily see if there's been another card posted. So yeah, there are plenty of good filters for you guys to use. Next video will be Ruby ones for the power forwards and centres, and then we'll be moving on to the amethyst. So drop a like on this video if you did enjoy this video. I hope you guys are going to be using these filters. Get out there, make that MT. You can get to 800k as well. Anyone can do it if I can. Anyway guys, hope you have enjoyed this video. As usual, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.